Today on Studio One, many people want to look their best. We'll spend a day in the life of someone who helps others put on their best face. Also, nearly everyone has to overcome obstacles in life. In our Spotlight story, you'll meet a boy who is facing his biggest challenge head on. And cancer impacts the lives of millions of people each year. We'll tell you about an event that is helping to provide hope for a cure.
From the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks, this is Studio One.
Hello everyone and welcome to Studio One. I'm Monty Cashel.
And I'm Kaylee Hamilton.
Well, every state seems to have its one thing that tourists like to go to.
Yeah, South Dakota has Mount Rushmore, New York has the Statue of Liberty.
And North Dakota has the Medora musical, set in the beautiful Badlands of southwest North Dakota. And we have someone coming on the show later who's going to tell us about that attraction in North Dakota and why people like to go there so much.
It should be very interesting.
It will be. Also on the show, issues such as discrimination are hard for society to face. We'll see how many universities are using a multi-sensory experience to take on some difficult topics.
And a traumatic event like a death or abuse can be hard to deal with. We'll talk with a therapist who will tell us about post-traumatic stress disorder.
But first, here's today's news with Megan Floggen.
Thanks, Monty and Kaylee. 3 months after historic elections, Iraq's National Assembly chose a new government Thursday. A partial list of cabinet positions has been approved for Iraq's transitional government. 180 out of 185 assembly members voted their approval. Deputies will fill the few positions that are still open. The main goal of the transitional government is to write a constitution. When the constitution is approved, a permanent government will also be elected. Russian President Vladimir Putin says he is eager to build relations between Russia and Israel in the war on terror. Putin is the first Kremlin leader to visit Israel. Putin met with Israeli President Moshe Katsav on Thursday to sign an agreement of cooperation between the two countries. As part of that renewed relationship, Putin has vetoed the sale of long-range missiles to Syria. Minnesota could soon pass one of the toughest restrictions on cold medicine in the country. In an effort to fight meth, many over-the-counter cold and allergy medicines could soon be banned in Minnesota. This would be the first ban in the nation on pseudoephedrine pills, the key ingredient in methamphetamine. The Minnesota House passed the ban because of growing meth problems in the state. The Senate still needs to agree to the ban. If the bill becomes law, Minnesotans could only obtain pseudoephedrine pills through a prescription.
The customer will get used to it if it makes an impact on this meth situation we're in. It would be worthwhile effort.
Some retail, grocery, and pharmacy groups oppose this outright ban because they think it's too strict. People who undergo gastric bypass surgery may soon be getting some financial help. Proposals before several state legislatures would require insurance companies to cover the surgery. In many states, there is no financial assistance for the surgery or there's an additional charge for insurance. Supporters say the legislation would cut down on long-term medical expenses, but lawmakers are concerned with how states will decide who qualifies for the insurance. Gastric bypass surgery costs anywhere from $20,000 to $35,000. Some issues in society are difficult to confront. Colleges across the U.S. are doing something to shed light on several topics that are often avoided.
Most people tend to steer clear of the tough issues found in society.
Some of my friends just stopped being my friends right there.
Here, a woman describes how she was raped and contracted the HIV virus as a result. She is just one of many performers in the tunnel of oppression. The tunnel is a multi-sensory display of some of the most difficult issues society faces. The University of North Dakota is one of many college campuses that hosts the event.
People don't realize that some of these things that are occurring are acts of oppression and that this does happen every day on our own campus.
Within the tunnel are different rooms portraying events that show various forms of oppression, such as having a distorted body image and the challenge of adapting to other cultures. The tunnel brings mixed reactions to those in attendance.
I didn't really know what to expect, but it was interesting. It was good to hear all the different stories and stuff.
While the display aims to educate, it has also generated controversy with the shock value approach it uses.
I think the only way, though, to really bring these issues to light is to bring them up and to not hold back and to really get the issue out there and say, this is happening, you may not want to see it or want to deal with it, but it's out there.
While the program isn't about changing the world, organizers hope the tunnel will allow people to see the reality of the issues. With photographer Patrick Wynn, I'm Carrie Versdahl reporting for Studio One News.
The Tunnel of Oppression was started in 1995 at Western Illinois University and has been adapted by many universities around the nation to fit issues going on within their own communities. And that's news for now. Monty and Kaylee?
Thanks, Megan. Well, the weather has been doing its job because I don't know how many conversations have started lately with what's going on with the weather outside.
Yeah, it was really, really warm last week, and now it's really, really cold again, and there's even been some snow.
At least in our area.
At least in our area. Let's go over to Aaron Swanson, and he'll tell us what we should be expecting with the weather this time of year.
Well, thanks, Monty and Kayla. We've been seeing that transition up and down. It's kind of that typical spring, and right now we're kind of in that cold spell. So as we take a look at our almanac conditions here, these are our average highs. This is where we should be, and we really aren't even close to this. Right around 45 to 50 is where we're at, and our averages are into the mid-60s actually for highs into North Dakota, and our overnights are still well higher than this as well. And right now we're only into the 25 or so degree range for our overnight lows. So this has kind of been true towards Minneapolis and Winnipeg as well, where they usually see about 66 in Minneapolis and 17 degrees Celsius in Winnipeg. So still that time of year where we got to suffer through those ups and downs, I guess. So well, they've come out with the outlook for the hurricane season this year from Colorado College, and 13 expected named storms this year is what they're predicting. And of those 13, 7 of them are expected to turn into a hurricane. And of those 7, 3 of those will end up having pretty much major hurricanes, which is 111 mile per hour winds or greater. So it could be a pretty severe year, and this is going to be a pretty active one. As you can remember from last year, we saw a lot of activity towards Florida and into the southwest there as well, where they saw up to 3 to 4 hurricanes in some areas that were affecting them. So, but as we take a look, this is our outlook from the Climate Prediction Center for the entire summer from June through August. So as we take a look, it's going to be relatively cold into the parts of the Midwest here, especially towards Minnesota and the Dakotas, the eastern Dakotas, but otherwise warm into the south and towards Florida and Texas, and warm into the desert region as well. And it's going to continue to be warm up into the northwest, where they've been seeing very nice spring. So far, no real rain to speak of for them, so they're still in that drought, but they're going to continue to see those nice weather with the warm, at least for the temperature-wise. So as we take a look where we're going to be wet or dry for the summer, it looks like in the Dakotas is where we're going to be wet. So right where that cold area was, going to continue to be wet there as well, and dry in towards the Mississippi Delta. So some of those ships coming into shore will have to watch out as they make their way in there. So as we take a look at our question of the week here, how much water is needed every week to keep your lawn healthy and green? And we have a range there from a quarter inch a week to all the way up to an inch of rain per week. So Monty and Kayla will have the answer to that question, and also look at some lawn care coming up in the second half.
Thanks, Aaron. Well, I don't know what the answer to that question is. Hopefully it's a little bit higher, because it seems like it's going to be kind of damp in our area this summer.
Yeah, Aaron said it's going to be a little bit wetter, so we might not have to water as much.
It's true.
All right, let's go to Greg Anchors now with the sports.
Thanks, Monty and Kaylee. The San Antonio Spurs were glad to get Tim Duncan back in the lineup for the playoffs, but he disappointed fans in Game 1 against the Denver Nuggets by shooting 7 of 22 and looking very sluggish. With critics claiming Duncan is still not back to full health, he looked to prove them wrong in Game 2. In San Antonio, nearing the end of the first, Tim Duncan putting on some moves. He gets the spin, the hoop, and the foul here as the Spurs go up 11. Duncan looking okay early on. In the second, Spurs on the break, led by Brent Barry. He'll drive in, miss the lay-in, but Tim Duncan is there to save the day. He had 24 points in this one. I think he's doing all right. The Spurs would run away with this one in the third. Brent Barry knocks down the 3 here as the Spurs roll 104-76. They tie the series up at 1 game apiece. Keeping it out west, Memphis and Phoenix in a dicey one. In the third, Memphis, Jason Williams knocks down the 3, tying this one up at 71 all. Suns would look to respond in the fourth. Steve Nash somehow gets the ball to Sean Marion for 2 of his 22 points. The Suns go up 101-99, and that would lead to this. With seconds to go, Memphis inbounds to Mike Miller for the tie. Nothing but iron there. Suns hold on to win 108-103, and they take a 2-0 series lead in that one. They are the Great American Basketball Team. Every year, the Harlem Globetrotters tip off their annual tour just after Christmas and run through mid-April. The schedule continues in May with a 50-game tour in Europe covering 11 different countries. During their U.S. portion of the tour, the team plays nearly every day with only 1 day off per month. Despite such a grueling schedule, however, players say they still look forward to each game.
I could be, delivering packages for the mail every single day. I could be doing something every day that I don't really enjoy doing. I'm doing something I really enjoy doing, so I'll never get tired of playing basketball. It's something it's God-gifted, and I love it. And it's not tiresome for me.
The Globetrotters are currently on a well-deserved break. They will begin their European tour on May 10th in the United Kingdom. And now it's time for the Studio One Sports Trivia question. You saw them just a moment ago in a deadlock with the San Antonio Spurs in this series. We wanted to know, when was the last time the Denver Nuggets won a playoff series? We'll reveal that answer for you when we have more sports a little later on. Monty and Kaylee.
Thank you, Greg. Vin Diesel is handing over his XXX movie role to rap artist and actor Ice Cube. We'll preview the latest movie where secret agents must stop a terrorist group from overthrowing the U.S. government.
And post-traumatic stress disorder affects many people in our society. Next, we'll talk with a therapist who will tell us how someone with the disorder can get help.
Need to plan an entire conference? Want to provide your employees with professional training and development? The Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota provides quality programs and services for career enhancement. Whether you want to attend educator workshops or need a certificate for your profession, the Division of Continuing Education can help you achieve success. Contact the Division of Continuing Education today and let us meet your professional needs.
When you graduate from college, what will you be able to offer an employer?
Well, I'm a really good people person.
I really love working with people.
I'm very, very motivated.
I'm a great people person. I am really motivated.
Offer an employer something more. At the University of North Dakota Career Services Center, we can help you get the competitive edge you need. Stop in or check us out, UND Career Services, empowering students to realize their dreams.
Did I mention I'm great with people?
The University of North Dakota College of Business and Public Administration offers real degrees for real people. Our nationally recognized faculty can help you earn a master's degree in business through evening classes.
Taking these evening classes were very convenient for me, and that's how I was able to complete the program.
We offer degrees for people who work, raise families, and lead busy lives. The UND College of Business and Public Administration, real degrees for real people.
Become a leader in healthcare with a graduate degree from the University of North Dakota. The Graduate School at UND offers degree programs and advanced practice certificate programs in the allied health professions and nursing. Our faculty give you the individual attention you need to help you attain your career goals. Distance programs for practicing professionals allow you to pursue graduate studies without interrupting your career. Contact the UND Graduate School today.
The School of Engineering and Mines at UND has a long history of preparing students for successful careers. Through small classes and faculty involvement, students have unique opportunities to gain hands-on experience. Here, students launch a weather balloon to test a remote imaging device destined for Earth orbit. Students can also become involved in wind energy and fuel cell projects, design, build, and race a Formula One car, or even develop a camera that will generate agricultural images from the International Space Station. Find out for yourself how you can get involved at UND School of Engineering and Mines.
You're watching Studio One, your source for news, weather, sports, and entertainment.
Events like the September 11th attacks, the war in Iraq, and the recent Red Lake school shootings in Minnesota can leave victims and witnesses traumatized. If the people involved in these events cannot deal with the stress, they can experience post-traumatic stress disorder. Clinical therapist Lisa Warner is here to talk about the disorder and how to get help. Thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I guess just to get started, what exactly is post-traumatic stress disorder?
Well, PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a type of anxiety disorder. It can occur in adults and children as well after exposure to an event where actual threatened injury or death occurs, and the response is marked by fear, horror, or helplessness.
Okay. What are some examples of events where someone might experience this disorder?
Well, normally we're equipped to deal with ordinary stressors such as divorce, financial problems, or serious illness or injury. However, with a traumatic incident, which is characterized as a catastrophic stressor, such as wars, torture, rape, terrorist attacks, like planes crashing into the World Trade Center, shootings like Columbine High, and also natural disasters fall into this category, such as floods, tornadoes, and hurricanes.
Okay. Well, what are some of the signs and symptoms of PTSD?
Signs and symptoms for PTSD would include a re-experiencing of the trauma. So in effect, your mind mentally replays the trauma over and over, and the thoughts are usually intrusive and unwanted thoughts. Flashbacks such as these can be triggered by ordinary events throughout your day, sights, sounds, images. For example, if the trauma was a fire, if you smell smoke, for example, that could be a trigger for you. Also nightmares. What's happening with that is that the trauma was such a shock and so different from what the norm is that you would experience, that it can, your mind is trying to replay the event over and over and try to, in order to make sense of it and fit it into your world experience.
Okay.
Other symptoms include avoidance of person, places, and things associated with the trauma. Also numbness. Again, your mind is trying to block out the pain of the emotional trauma. You might actually forget important aspects of the trauma as well. Arousal symptoms are also part of it, where you have difficulty sleeping or staying asleep. And of course, you know, if you don't sleep, you get irritable, anger might emerge, and you might have difficulty concentrating. Also, startle responses. So if I came up to you, you might have an exaggerated startle response. Your body is kind of in fight or flight mode all the time, and this can cause significant distress socially, occupationally, and in other important aspects or areas of your life.
When do these symptoms usually show up?
They usually occur within 3 months of the trauma, but it can be delayed as far as up to 1 year after the trauma.
Is everyone at the same risk, or is everyone like prone to the same kind of reaction to this, or for post-traumatic stress disorder, or is there something that makes you more apt to experiencing it?
Yes. Actually, some people are more predisposed to post-traumatic distressor than others. If, for example, you have a prior trauma exposure, like a past history of abuse, or you have a coexisting mental illness.
Okay. What kinds of treatments usually help people through this disorder?
Usually, treatment consists of therapy and medication. So therapy could consist of a type of therapy called cognitive behavioral therapy, and the cognitive component actually addresses the thoughts that you have and helps you to address the fears. The behavioral component seeks to change the responses that you're having to the anxiety-producing experience. Also, deep breathing can be helpful. Any visualization or relaxation techniques can be helpful.
Okay. Well, can a person be totally cured from PTSD?
Actually, the goal for PTSD in treatment is to reduce the symptoms. So for example, I might have you come and sit down, and if you had PTSD, I'd ask you to recall the event and in slow motion so that you could experience it in a safe setting, and thereby you're separating the associated anxiety from the memories that you had before. So you might recall the event, but it no longer has the same intense feelings that were once associated with it.
Well, if someone suspects that they have PTSD, what are some of the steps that they should take?
First of all, they should seek a qualified professional, which could include clinical social workers, psychologists, or psychiatrists. You would want to seek out a treatment facility that deals with PTSD.
Okay.
Also, I think I gave you the number for the National Institute for Mental Health.
It's actually on the bottom of our screen now. So, well, thanks so much for coming on the show today. That was very informative, and I'm sure you're helping a lot of people.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up, golfing can be considered a relaxing sport. We will speak with someone about a special course that offers a challenging, scenic, and once-in-a-lifetime experience. Also, some women may struggle with makeup. From the right shade to the acceptable price range, it's a product with many options. We'll spend a day in the life of a makeup artist.
Earn a degree in engineering while you continue to work. The University of North Dakota's Distance Engineering degree program offers the only ABET accredited undergraduate degree program at a distance. Instructors and classes are delivered to you through online lectures and condensed on-campus laboratories.
It's convenient, it's flexible, and it's a quality education.
UND Continuing Education and the School of Engineering and Mines, teaming up to bring quality education to your door.
Need to plan an entire conference? Want to provide your employees with professional training and development? The Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota provides quality programs and services for career enhancement. Whether you want to attend educator workshops or need a certificate for your profession, the Division of Continuing Education can help you achieve success. Contact the Division of Continuing Education today and let us meet your professional needs.
Ice Cube and Samuel L. Jackson star in the widely anticipated sequel to X. Suspense and conspiracy are some of the things expected in the second installment to the blockbuster hit. Ice Cube plays a former military leader who has been wrongly imprisoned and manages to break free. He later comes in contact with a government official searching for an expert to aid in a top-secret case. Samuel L. Jackson says the big stunts in action do not undermine the solid storyline.
The plot itself is more about the overthrow of our particular form of government than stopping someone else from infringing upon it.
Production ran right after September 11th, and access to government buildings was tight. They had to build many landmarks in much of the capital on stages. X State of the Union opens in theaters on April 29th. Now it's time to take a look at the events happening in your area. Many women are looking for ways to find that right look. One artist lends her skills to her customers every day. Today, we spend a day in the life of a makeup artist.
This artist works on a different kind of canvas. Whether it's for prom, a wedding, or a night out on the town, Larissa gets her customers the look they want. Larissa says it's all about being happy.
I decided that I really like to make people happy. And I just kind of thought, like, what would I be able to do that would make me happy and make them happy?
This art is not as easy as one might think. The art is in the details.
Yeah, and you have to think of like the eye color, you know, the skin color, the shape of the face, you know, all that kind of stuff goes into it, and you have to be thinking about that constantly while you're doing it.
Larissa says this art form accents the beauty within a person.
Like, I try to get their personality, because when you get their personality, you can, like, kind of know what they want.
Her customers say they often leave with a little more than makeup on their face.
It feels great. It's really nice to actually have somebody do it for you instead of having to do it yourself. She showed me a lot of different ways to do things to bring out your eyes, and it's really nice. It makes you feel great.
And this is just a tinted moisturizer. It has SPF in it, and it just adds a little bit of color.
With a little bit of blush and personality, Larissa keeps her customers feeling beautiful. With photographer Chris Bloom, this is Jessie Weber reporting for Studio One.
Next month, Larissa will be one of the makeup artists helping with a runway show in Minneapolis. Coming up, sports can help kids to learn the importance of teamwork and commitment. In our Studio One Spotlight, we'll introduce you to a boy who used his favorite sport to help him in ways that go well beyond the game. That's story plus news, sports, and the weather in the next half hour of Studio One.
George Bull and his partners found value in farina, the whitest part of wheat, and created cream of wheat. Patrick Haggerty founded Texas Instruments and helped it become one of the nation's high-tech giants. Raymond Rood is responsible for the modern diving board. His diving boards have been used in every Olympic competition since 1960. Chris Moen and Marlene Schott launched their food company through the UND Entrepreneurship Program. Will yours be next?
The University of North Dakota Alumni Association and Foundation, together with thousands of alumni and friends, are making a difference at UND. Thanks to generous private support, many students have experienced the rich history, tradition, and spirit of the University of North Dakota. UND alumni and friends understand the importance of education and are proud to be part of UND's growth and success. Learn how your gift to the UND Foundation can benefit you and your university. You can make a difference.
Earn a degree in engineering while you continue to work. The University of North Dakota's Distance Engineering degree program offers the only ABET accredited undergraduate degree program at a distance. Instructors and classes are delivered to you through online lectures and condensed on-campus laboratories.
It's convenient, it's flexible, and it's a quality education.
UND Continuing Education and the School of Engineering and Mines, teaming up to bring quality education to your door.
Tradition runs deep among American Indian people. One of those traditions is helping others. At the University of North Dakota, American Indian Student Services is dedicated to helping students succeed. Our support services include tutoring and financial aid assistance. We have more American Indian programs than any other university in the U.S., making UND a leader in Indian education. Be a part of our tradition. Call 1-800-CALL-UND.
From the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks, this is Studio One.
Welcome back to Studio One.
Thanks for joining us.
Well, Benedict XVI has just been appointed as the new Pope of the Catholic Church, and there's been a lot of issues he's been facing since his appointment.
There's a lot of people who have opinions on which way they think the Pope should go, maybe a little more conservative, maybe a little more liberal.
Right, and actually we went out and talked to some people and got their opinions on what the Pope should do with the church.
All right, we'll look forward to hearing from them. Also coming up in the next 30 minutes on Studio One, 1/4 of all deaths in the United States are from cancer. We'll tell you how many people are taking steps toward finding a cure.
And it takes dedication and drive to succeed in any sport. In our Spotlight story, we'll meet a boy who has excelled at his game despite an obstacle many would consider impossible to overcome.
And everyone would like to land their dream job. We'll speak with someone whose job it is to promote his passion. But first, here's today's news with Megan Floggen.
Thanks, Monty and Kaylee. Police in Duluth, Georgia have expanded their search for a missing 32-year-old woman. Jennifer Wilbanks disappeared on April 26, just 4 days before her wedding. Wilbanks, a marathon runner, left the home she shares with her fiancé to go jogging and has not been seen since. Family and friends say Wilbanks was looking forward to her wedding and that her disappearance is very uncharacteristic of her. Police have no suspects or solid leads. 2 children were found stabbed to death in their suburban Chicago home late Wednesday. The bodies of a 3-year-old girl and her 9-year-old brother were discovered by their father. The children's mother was at home at the time of the attack. Police are questioning both parents after finding several knives in the house. Authorities believe the knives were used in the murders. Midwest farmers will soon get some financial relief through the railroad industry. Burlington Northern Santa Fe Railway is temporarily lowering its shipping rates for elevators. The railroad says it's trying to ease the pain of high fuel prices. The reduction begins in May for North Dakota, Montana, South Dakota, and Minneapolis for wheat shipped west. Rates should decrease up to $150 per car and save farmers up to 4 cents a bushel. Many say rate cuts are a step in the right direction.
We're just getting back some of what we should have, I guess. So, and it's going to be a good deal because it's going to go back into the farmers' hands.
Critics in many states have accused BNSF of overcharging grain elevators. The railroad has used lower rates for states with more shipping alternatives. Soon anyone will be able to buy a personal flying machine. The new air scooter can fly at 55 miles per hour and carry up to 350 pounds. 2 helicopter rotors keep it in the air and a motorcycle-style handlebar steers the vehicle. The personal aircraft does not require a pilot's license as long as it's flown under 400 feet. Mail services and Border Patrol agencies have already expressed interest in the flying machine. The air scooter costs about $50,000 and will be available later this fall. Every year, over 500,000 Americans die of cancer. But with the help of the American Cancer Society, people are uniting to support cancer survivors while searching for a cure.
Walking a track is often seen as a way to get in shape. But for students at the University of North Dakota, each lap is a chance to help find a cure for cancer. These students are participating in the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life, an annual event held in cities throughout the nation. Before each relay, communities are asked to form teams and raise money for the cause. The teams then come together in marathon style for an all-night celebration of hope.
We really honor the people that have passed away and the people that have survived the battle of cancer.
For most participants, the relay is a one-night event filled with camping, laughing, and walking for a cause.
I know a couple people who've been affected by cancer, and it's just, there's nothing you can really do directly for them, so indirectly you can at least raise a little money for a real good cause.
But for cancer survivor Randy Knutson, the relay represents much more.
Now that I've beat it and I'm a survivor, along with everybody else here tonight, it's really kind of an awesome thing, but it's time to give back.
One way donations are collected for the event is through the sale of luminaries. Each luminary is lit during the relay in honor of the victims of cancer.
I think everybody knows somebody or has been involved. And you look around here, that's a lot of luminaries. And it's awesome. It's awesome.
From dancers to walkers and sleepers to mad scientists, the Relay for Life has brought together participants from all walks of life, while creating a sense of hope that one day there will be a cure for cancer. I'm Shannon Burra reporting for Studio One News.
Cancer is the second leading cause of death in America, but with advances in medical technology, survival rates continue to rise. And that's news for now. Monty and Kaylee?
Thanks, Megan. Well, we were promised that we were going to get some lawn care tips, and it's that time of year we should be thinking of that.
It's true. Well, let's go over to Aaron Swanson at the Weather Studio, and he'll tell us what's going on around the nation with the weather.
Well, thanks, Monty and Kaylee. We have been seeing some pretty turbulent weather in parts of our area, but we will have some lawn care tips also coming up in the second. As we take a look, though, at our weather across Kansas, we saw a pretty significant outbreak of tornadoes in this area. This was in Parson, Kansas, and really this is just a life cycle of a single tornado. Pretty much just spawned and really developed into a pretty strong twister in the area, and then finally receded and relieved some of the area for those people. But parts of North Carolina actually started to see some snow this time of year, and it's almost May, so it's hard to believe that that's still the conditions and the fact down there. But they did see temperatures in the teens, so they saw up to about 4 to 8 inches of snow into some regions. You can kind of see where the severe weather was right in towards parts of Kansas and all the way in towards Oklahoma. But as we head towards the east here, we take a look where we saw some of the snow bands that pretty much brought all that snow in towards, especially into the higher elevations in the Appalachia area. Well, when that snow melts, we turn our attention more to a lot more of the outdoor activities, such as lawn care.
Spring is here, and the streets are lined with bags of leaves and twigs. Many are completing their spring yard work. Each spring, homeowners face different challenges to keeping their lawns looking great. Moisture is an essential part to the growth of your grass.
If you go through a dry spell, though, you want to add some water on it and then just test it, maybe put a dish out there or something just to see if you can get it. Make sure you got your inch a week.
People own all sorts of lawnmowers. Dwayne says it's most important to check your mower blade for its sharpness. Having well-maintained equipment helps your lawn look its best. An ordinary rake can make a big difference.
This time of year, you got those brown spots, just rake them up and maybe put a little water on them, and then they'll start to green up from the inside out.
Summer temperatures will soon be here, and spring is the perfect time to prepare your lawn for the hotter days ahead. Reporting for Studio One, I'm Nikki Morrell.
When mowing your lawn this summer, you want to keep at least about 2.5 inches to keep a dark green look. Well, here's again a look at our Studio One Weather IQ question. How much water is needed every week to keep your lawn healthy and green? And your answer is 1 inch of water a week. So if you think, well, that's quite a bit of rain if we had it in our area, 1 inch a week. So you have to bring out the sprinklers quite a bit in the summer. So Monty and Kaylee?
Thanks, Aaron. That is a lot of water. I guess your lawn needs to stay nice and green and thick.
Well, and Aaron was saying that it might be a little wetter than usual, so we might not have to worry too much about that. Well, let's go now to sports again with Greg Ankers.
Thanks, Monty and Kaylee. It takes a lot of work to get into professional sports. For one athlete, the payoff was everything he had hoped for.
Rob Hunt has worked hard to get where he is. Hunt is a 6'3", 301-pound offensive lineman who combines speed with power.
Playing an offensive center position, he has the athleticism of a running back, and so that's a great combination.
Last season, North Dakota State University jumped to Division I. It was the perfect showcase for Hunt's skills.
Team speed. You get out there and you see guys that are twice as fast. The game just happens at an all-over general faster level.
After 4 seasons with NDSU, all aspects of his game continue to excel.
I don't think there's anybody in football itself that practices harder, goes through what we go through just mentally and physically through the off seasons, through the seasons.
This off season, while most college grads were looking for jobs, Hunt was waiting for bosses to contact him.
Already talking with Coach Dungy on the phone, so it was so there. He told me he was going to pop up on the TV.
Hunt was selected by the Indianapolis Colts in the 5th round of this year's NFL Draft, and he now has the opportunity to learn from some of the game's best.
And sit back with Peyton Manning and Jeff Saturday and try to take in as much as they learned about the game.
Through it all, Hunt won't lose sight of the support and values that have helped get him this far.
Family-wise, just coming out, the support that they give me. I play for my mom every single time that I'm out there, but it's one of those things that it just drives me. I want to perfect whatever I do, and that's just the person that I am.
Reporting for Studio One Sports, I'm Nathan Shane.
Hunt will begin his workouts with the Indianapolis Colts at a 3-day mini camp for rookies. And now the answer to this week's Studio One Sports Trivia question, currently looking to end their playoff woes. When was the last time the Denver Nuggets won a playoff series? The last year was 1994 when they beat the Seattle Supersonics in the opening round, 3-2, and that marked the first time in NBA history that a team came back in a 5-game series after trailing by 2 games. And that is the sports. Monty and Kaylee?
Thanks, Greg. It's tough to make it in television. Many shows are canceled after 1 or 2 seasons, but one show on MTV has managed to stay on the air for 10 years. We'll sit in with a producer and TV star hopefuls from MTV's The Real World.
Also, some kids face challenges in life that might seem insurmountable. In our Studio One Spotlight, we'll meet a boy who was inspired to overcome his biggest obstacle with the help of his biggest hero in sports.
Wall Street has come to the prairie through the A. Kirk Lanterman Investment Center at the University of North Dakota. This state-of-the-art facility in the College of Business and Public Administration provides hands-on experience in the world of modern finance. Students learn how financial markets react with lightning quickness to world events. They use cutting-edge technology and real-time data from more than 200 financial markets around the world. The Lanterman Investment Center provides the tools to make a career out of an education.
There are many things to be found at the University of North Dakota School of Law. You will find a place with small class settings, an affordable place that offers student interaction with both the state and federal court systems. You will find a school that has averaged over 90% placement for its graduates the past 5 years. But most importantly, you will find the skills and experience you'll need throughout your legal career. Find your future at the University of North Dakota School of Law.
This can happen.
Excuse me, can I get a ride?
What?
My car broke down. Can I get a ride?
No, I can't help you.
Look, it's just a ride.
No, step back.
Get in the car!
No!
Women can defend themselves. To learn more about Impact U or to enroll in a class, call the UND Women's Center.
Advance your career with a graduate business degree from the University of North Dakota. The graduate school at UND offers a variety of master's degrees that can help you stand out in the competitive business world. Our programs accommodate full-time students as well as working professionals. Our state-of-the-art facilities, dedicated faculty, and entrepreneurial training position graduates for careers as business leaders. Make your move towards a business leadership position. Contact the UND Graduate School today.
You're watching Studio One from the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks.
For more than 10 years, MTV's The Real World has been a popular reality television series among teens and young adults. MTV producers are searching for new cast members for a new season. This sort of audition attracts all kinds of people.
These young people are among many reality TV hopefuls who auditioned to become one of 7 strangers on MTV's The Real World. If chosen, they will live in a house and have their lives videotaped non-stop. Many people were brought simply by curiosity.
We just had some free time and figured we'd give it a shot. Why not?
Others had a more long-term approach.
Well, if by chance I was chosen to be one of them, I would definitely try to pursue a career by it, and my own show, something like that.
Once information slips were filled out, casting directors gathered everyone in small groups to get to know each other more personally. They shared bizarre stories, embarrassing moments, anything to get the producers' attention. These people all had different reasons for wanting to be on TV, but many agreed on one thing.
My ultimate goal is to not embarrass myself too bad on national television, I guess. I don't know, come out with a positive public image.
I wouldn't do anything embarrassing.
For others, embarrassment was not an issue.
I can't shock my family anymore. I've done that already.
If one of these reality TV wannabes gets his or her way,
I don't know. I don't think I'm going to get it. I'm not expecting that, but I have a better chance than some others, I say that.
Perhaps we will be seeing a North Dakota influence on MTV sometime in the near future. Reporting for Studio One, I'm Gina Kalemi.
MTV is currently filming season 16 of The Real World in Austin, Texas. These casting calls are for season 17, and the name of the city has not yet been released. Now that Pope Benedict XVI has been elected to the papacy, many people are wondering how much the Catholic Church may change. Some people are hoping for liberal changes, while others hope the new Pope will remain conservative. We wanted your thoughts on what issues should be addressed.
I think that right now, the times that we live in, I think it's good right now that Benedict XVI looks like he's going to stay the course and be conservative.
I just hope with everything going on that he keeps an open mind and keeps the younger generation in mind.
I think that he's a real role model for the whole world. And the new guy, I don't know that much about him. The only thing I know that I hear things that he's kind of a hardliner.
I hope he will deal with priests marrying and women being allowed to become priests or be more active in the church.
Many young athletes battle through hard times while playing the games they love. One boy has been dealing with adversity all his life.
Like many of his friends, 10-year-old Gannon Gilbreth loves sports. His favorite is racquetball, and he's gotten pretty good. But there's something that makes each win extra special.
Well, Gannon has cerebral palsy. He was born with cerebral palsy, and basically it's a muscle disorder that, in Gannon's case, he has real tight muscles.
Gannon's high spirits, in spite of his condition, are something his parents are proud of.
He's taught both his mother and I a lot every day. You know, we worry about a hangnail or something, and he gets up with a smile on his face or singing, and he's got a lot more to be concerned about for the day than we'll ever have.
One more time. Gannon's condition would keep most people out of sports, but with the help of surgery, he now uses physical therapy and racquetball to keep his muscles loose. He was inspired to learn this sport by the story of another patient at his hospital, Chris Coy.
Chris has a handicap just like me. He was born with cancer, and they had to amputate his below his ankle.
Gannon admires Chris for winning racquetball tournaments around the country. He says one of the best experiences of his life was the chance to meet his hero.
It's just like meeting like a young kid, like meeting Superman.
During this visit, Gannon had the opportunity to share the court with his idol.
And it was just really good that Gannon could play him, and really motivated Gannon to do well at racquetball.
Now Gannon is doing very well. After taking up racquetball only 1 year ago, he recently took second place in a state tournament for his age group. When he's on the court, Gannon draws motivation from his father, who is usually watching from above.
When I skip the ball or hit a bad shot, or I give my opponent like a really easy shot or something, I look up at him and see how he reacts, and I try to fix whatever I think he's telling me.
Gannon is turning his handicap into opportunity, and with a little motivation,
as my dad says, get my butt in gear.
He is able to go where his racquetball dreams take him. In Fargo, North Dakota, I'm Tyler Tupa, reporting for Studio One.
Like many big-name athletes, Gannon even has his own sponsor. A sporting goods company provides Gannon with much of his equipment at no charge. This summer is the 40th anniversary for the Medora musical, set in the Badlands of North Dakota. We'll find out what makes this show so popular and what will make this year's show different from the past.
No matter what your schedule, no matter when you work, no matter what job you have now, this is your opportunity to accomplish your goals. Degrees After Hours at the University of North Dakota can work around your busy schedule. Bachelor and master's degrees are earned through convenient, flexible, and high-quality classes. Complete degrees are available online through correspondence study and on weekends and evenings. Earn a degree on your terms with Degrees After Hours at the University of North Dakota.
The College of Business and Public Administration at the University of North Dakota is proud to announce the Page Family Marketing Center. A gift from alumni Greg and Cindy Page, this center promises real-world experiences as students begin careers in marketing. The center includes a specially designed conference room for focus group research. An adjacent lab offers real-time access to software and data for marketing decisions. The Page Family Marketing Center, your next step in marketing.
The School of Engineering and Mines at UND has a long history of preparing students for successful careers. Through small classes and faculty involvement, students have unique opportunities to gain hands-on experience. Here, students launch a weather balloon to test a remote imaging device destined for Earth orbit. Students can also become involved in wind energy and fuel cell projects, design, build, and race a Formula One car, or even develop a camera that will generate agricultural images from the International Space Station. Find out for yourself how you can get involved at UND School of Engineering and Mines.
The UND College of Business and Public Administration is reaching out to rural America. The Government Rural Outreach Initiative is working to connect North Dakota veterans with important information. North Dakota veterans can use the internet to access employment and business resources, health and benefits they deserve, housing information, and much more. The Government Rural Outreach Initiative is funded in part by the North Dakota Congressional Delegation. North Dakota veterans and their families can get connected by visiting go.ndgrow.com.
For anyone who visits Medora, North Dakota, they know that they can count on the beautiful scenery, historical sites, and great music. This year there are some new attractions that may surprise those faithful and also new visitors. Medora musical host Wade Westin is here to tell us what's new in the Old West. Thanks for coming on the show today, Wade.
Well, thanks for having me.
Well, there obviously are some people who have never been to Medora. Give them a taste of what it's like. What is Medora?
Well, it's an Old West cow town. Set in the beautiful North Dakota Badlands. It's one of North Dakota's #1 vacation destination. It's a place you can relax and have a lot of different unique experiences.
Okay. Now you're the host of the Medora musical. Tell us how you fit into all of this.
Well, I started out as a Burning Hill singer in 1999, singing and dancing in the show. And I still get a chance to sing and dance, but now I do more emceeing, introducing the acts, dialogue, telling the folks about the history of the area.
Okay, and we're looking at some video of the Burning Hills singers and dancers. You did this for many years, and now you're hosting and filling in between there. What part of this, you know, how does this interest you? Is this a dream of yours you've always had?
It is. I saw the show first back in 1979. There was a gal from Zoll, North Dakota. That's where I'm from. And we went there, and I always thought, man, it would be so neat to be in the show. And I was working in Bismarck. I had graduated from college at UND, and I heard about the auditions in Minneapolis, and I thought, you know, what the heck? I don't want to be 60 years old and find out or wonder if I could have made the musical. So I auditioned and ended up making it, and here I am.
And ended up making a career out of it as well.
Right.
Well, being a singer and dancing through the summer in that musical, what's one of the more challenging parts of that?
I would say the fact that the show's every day. You have to strive to make it fresh for you, because the people that are coming to see the show, they're seeing it for the first time. And so you want to give them all the energy that you can when you're performing, so that they enjoy it, and so that you show the audience that you're enjoying it.
Okay, and now you say you do this every day. How long does it run? From what month to what month?
This year it runs from June 3rd through September 4th, basically early June through Labor Day weekend. And that's every night at 8:30 Mountain Time.
Okay, every night. Do you ever get a break?
Sometimes, if there happens to be rain, which it averages about 3 rainouts per summer. So, but even with that, we have to be at the theater and dressed and ready to go, and then they don't call the show until the last possible moment.
Okay, so they try and give people a show no matter what.
Right.
Well, it's the 40th anniversary of Medora. What are some of the newer attractions that you're talking about?
Well, this year at the musical itself, we have a new set on stage. We tore the old one down this past fall, and the new set is more historically accurate, plus it offers some better theatrical things that we can do in the show. We have a new VIP package, which includes the Pitchfork Steak Fondue, preferred seating at the musical, along with a 40th anniversary CD and a souvenir book, and a new behind-the-scenes tour. In Medora, some new things. We have the North Dakota Cowboy Hall of Fame that's opening up the middle part of June. That's going to be a fantastic museum, and it tells about the area of Native American history and culture, ranching, and rodeo.
Okay. Now you mentioned the set is changing to reflect some more accurate representation of the time.
Right.
Is this in direct relation to the play? Is the play changing quite a bit too as well?
It'll maintain the similar format. The musical's new every summer, but it always follows a similar format. There's high energy singing and dancing. We always have a portion that pays tribute to Theodore Roosevelt, and then we always have a patriotic finale.
And there's also an amazing golf course in Medora.
There is.
And we have some footage of that as well. What makes the golf course so special?
Well, Bully Pulpit Golf Course, it has a nice section that plays through wooded trees and then along the Little Missouri River. But the most unique part, as you can see right here, is that you're golfing right in the Badlands. 3 of the holes on the back 9, you're teeing off from one Badlands butte to the next. So it's definitely a unique course, especially for North Dakota. There's nothing quite like it in the area.
Okay, and you know, this is an Old West town, and that's basically your push. How does a golf course fit into Old West?
Well, it's set right in the Badlands, and one of the nice things about the golf course, I think, people come to Medora and they'll go through Theodore Roosevelt National Park, the South Unit. There's a loop drive that they can take, and there's great hiking trails, but a lot of people just drive the loop, so they don't get to truly experience the Badlands. And the golfer at Bully Pulpit, when they're in on the back 9 on those holes, they're in the Badlands, so they really get a chance to experience what the Badlands are all about.
Okay. What do you hope people get out of an experience when they go to Medora?
Well, I hope that they have a fun time, and Medora is just a relaxing place. Life nowadays is so busy. You have work, your job, the family. It's just a hustle and bustle, and Medora offers a chance for folks to get away, relax, and have some really unique experiences.
Okay. And Wade, your name, Wade Westin, it seems like the perfect name to fit in as the Medora musical host. Is that a stage name, or?
No, that was my given name. I don't know, my parents just named me that. I guess I'm lucky to fit in, born to be in a Western
there you go.
place.
All right, well, thanks so much for sharing this, this information with us on Medora, Wade.
Thank you, Monty.
Good luck on this season.
Oh, thanks.
Well, you're watching Studio One from the University of North Dakota. We'll be back right after this.
Tradition runs deep among American Indian people. One of those traditions is helping others. At the University of North Dakota, American Indian Student Services is dedicated to helping students succeed. Our support services include tutoring and financial aid assistance. We have more American Indian programs than any other university in the U.S., making UND a leader in Indian education. Be a part of our tradition. Call 1-800-CALL-UND.
The Graduate School at the University of North Dakota is the premier graduate school of the Northern Great Plains, offering advanced degrees in more than 50 fields of study. Our innovative and flexible programs give full-time students, as well as working professionals, the opportunity to study under the guidance of nationally and internationally recognized faculty. Advance your career with a master's or doctoral degree from the Graduate School at the University of North Dakota.
When you graduate from college, what will you be able to offer an employer?
Well, I love working with people.
I'm a people person.
I consider myself to be highly motivated.
I'm a real self-starter.
Offer an employer something more. At the University of North Dakota Career Services Center, we can help you get the competitive edge you need. Stop in or check us out, UND Career Services, empowering students to realize their dreams.
I can offer you much more than just good people skills.
You're hired.
No matter what your schedule, no matter when you work, no matter what job you have now, this is your opportunity to accomplish your goals. Degrees After Hours at the University of North Dakota can work around your busy schedule. Bachelor and master's degrees are earned through convenient, flexible, and high-quality classes. Complete degrees are available online through correspondence study and on weekends and evenings. Earn a degree on your terms with Degrees After Hours at the University of North Dakota.
This can happen.
Excuse me, can I get a ride?
What?
My car broke down. Can I get a ride?
No, I can't help you.
Look, it's just a ride.
No, step back.
Get in the car!
No!
Women can defend themselves. To learn more about Impact U or to enroll in a class, call the UND Women's Center.
Well, Wade left a hat for me to wear to close out the show, but it looks a little large compared to my little head, so I'll just put this down here. That's good.
Well, this is our last show of this season. Be sure to join us again in the fall, and we'll have more great stories to share with you.
And we're going to leave you now with pictures of our cast and crew from all of us here at Studio One. Have a great summer.